Hey everyone, welcome back to the Veteran Advocate. If you're new here, I'm Michaela McGraw, a C&P medical examiner and veteran advocate. And every week I'm going to walk you through the VA disability process step by step to help you get the benefits that you've earned. In our last episode, we talked about how to gather your military and civilian medical records. And today we're going to go one layer deeper and talk about how to identify the right evidence for your specific condition and how to spot what's missing from your file before the VA does. Because remember, the VA doesn't deny claims out of spite. They deny them because the evidence is not strong enough to connect the dots. So today I'll show you how to make those connections clear. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. I was on vacation, so I had to take a week off with my family, but we're picking back up. So before you can fix what's missing in your VA file, you have to know what the VA wants for your claim. There are 3 things they need. Number 1, a current diagnosis. 2, proof that something happened, and 3, a medical connection, also called a nexus between the two. So even if one of these pieces are missing or the link is weak, they can legally deny your claim. So as you go through your records, you need to ask yourself, do I have a current diagnosis from a licensed medical provider? Is there anything in my service treatment record showing when or how this started? And do I have a medical statement linking the two together? If you can't confidently answer yes to all 3, that's your red flag. And it might be time to dig a little bit deeper in your file to see what you can do. Now, let's talk about specific conditions because not all evidence carries the same weight. So if you're claiming hearing loss or tinnitus, your key evidence is an audiology test result and a service record showing exposure to something loud in the environment, weapons, aircraft, machinery. If you're claiming PTSD or mental health, focus on stressor events, deployments, combat exposure, or in-service incidents, statements from your buddies or supervisors, and a mental health diagnosis from a VA or licensed psychologist. If you're claiming back, knee, or joint injuries, you'll need medical records documenting the original injury and complaint, current imaging like x-rays, MRIs, notes showing limited range of motion or chronic pain. And for toxic exposure claims like burn pits or Agent Orange, we need deployment records showing where you served, a current diagnosis that's listed as a presumptive condition, and any supporting doctor statements connecting your exposure to your condition. But the goal here is pretty simple. Match your proof to your problem. So how do we do that? How do we identify what's missing? Here's where most veterans miss out. They gather up the basics, but never look for what's not there. Ask yourself these questions. Does my medical record clearly show a diagnosis date? Do I have something in my service file showing symptoms that started back in service? And do I have a medical opinion that actually connects my condition to service? If the answer to any of those is no, that's a missing puzzle piece. And it's your job to fill it before the VA ever asks about it. That can mean getting a nexus letter or writing one, which we will talk about later, asking a buddy to write a statement about what they witnessed, or submitting updated medical records that show your current severity of your condition. Because once your claim hits the VA, you can't assume they'll go looking for more evidence. That's your responsibility, not theirs. So how do we think like a rater? How do we think like the VA? When I review C&P exams, I can almost tell immediately which veterans will be approved, and it always comes down to how well the story is told through evidence. A strong file connects the dots clearly. Here's what happened. Here's what I have now, and here's the medical evidence that's proof linking the 2 things together. If your evidence reads like a clear story, no gaps, no guessing, you've made the rater's job easy, and that's exactly what you want to do, because not all raters are the same, and you might get a terrible one. Let's just be honest. So before you hit submit on your claim, take one more day and go through your evidence like a detective. Look for a current diagnosis, proof of what happened in service, a medical nexus linking them together, and any missing supporting evidence that you might need. Remember, the VA doesn't fill in the blanks. You do. The more complete your file is, the faster and stronger your approval will be. And if you want extra help staying on top of your health while you go through this process, check out the Wellness Store through the Veteran Advocate, a Patriot-owned, veteran-supported, and full of clean supplements and tools designed to help you stay mission-ready inside and out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week on the Veteran Advocate, where we'll break down how to prepare for your C&P exam and what the examiner is really looking for while you're there. Until then, stay strong, stay focused, and keep fighting for your benefits that you've earned and that you so much deserved.